Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wandogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Righto, boys. Today we are going to have a look at the Sydney Swans, who, for years and years, they were almost fantasy irrelevant. But last year, because they started putting some games into some young guys.
Yep,
They
been good
became
for that
very
over the last couple,
fantasy
haven't they?
relevant. Yeah, so very interesting. Plus, we saw a massive breakout from, and we might kick it off with him, Callum Mills. So they'd
Amazing.
flirted with him playing a bit of midfield time,
Yes.
but last year was the first time he was fully unleashed in there.
Yes.
And boy,
Yeah.
what a season he
Unreal.
had. So he averaged 110, and we saw a bit of a ceiling, 142, 152. But one thing we saw that stands above everything else, I think, was the consistency. He was just getting it done every week. So he dropped under 90 just twice for the year, and one of them was in round 23 where they brought him back, and he had a 78.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't sound that great, does it?
Doesn't, right.
51% game time.
when he got injured, yeah.
So that drops his average down for you as well.
Yeah, you know what I've done, Roy?
What?
You know how I take scores out?
Yeah.
I'm boosting that one up.
What'd you give him for it?
So, a 140.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Probably should be a 150. So I've boosted that up to a 140. Now,
What's the average?
He would have averaged 114
There you
for
go.
the year.
He's
and
underpriced.
4 points under.
he would have gone at 127 in his last 5.
That's big.
That's massive, isn't it? So,
And you're allowed to bump scores up.
right.
Adjusted his
You're allowed
Now,
to do that.
there were things at the end of the season that are a worry, like hearing Achilles soreness and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's always a flag.
Yeah.
But, like, the ability is there. Now, there's a few things I want you to think about. So, he was 7th in the league for points per minute at 1.36. Okay,
Wow, yeah.
so that's elite. Now, I got a couple of key stats from Cycle 6 on Twitter. Now, listen to this.
Getting a bit tight with old Cycle 6 these
Mate,
days.
he hits me with some awesome stats. So he averaged 115 when his CBAs were over 75%.
Okay.
Okay, so you see those real elite midfielders. That's the key number, that 75% that you see. Now, number 1 and 3 on that list for the Swans, Kennedy and Parker. So they're 33
Long
and
in the tooth.
29. So his CBAs are going to be doing nothing but increasing
Yep.
if the injuries aren't a concern.
He's now that midfielder that
Yes.
we were hoping was going to happen over
Yes.
the last few years.
So what I'm saying, he's a 115 midfielder.
Does he go in the first round of draft?
Second.
Do you reckon?
Achilles tendon.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only thing holding him back because
There's always
he's amazing.
Mate,
that thing. He was a defender, and so
He's-
we all go, "Oh,
Yeah, he could be over 115 easily this
Yeah,
year.
easily.
Mm.
I wanted to play it safe there.
Wow. Yep. First rounder, dog.
not getting tagged."
First rounder.
No, not getting tagged. Amazing player, one to consider. Now, Jake Lloyd, he's
still a defender.
Yeah, he's still a defender and he's one of the few defenders that rack up like a
Yeah.
midfielder. So he's one to have a look at because the 98 he averaged is actually unders what I think he will return to. So for years he was, what did I have there? He's averaged 105 over the last 6 weeks of the season, and prior to last year's 98, he'd averaged 100 like 3 or 4 years in a row. And he was coming off a career high Corona ball adjusted like 114. So I think 98 is slightly unders. I think
Well
he's about
unders.
a 104, 105 guy at safe.
He's in my team at the moment.
There's so many reasons why
Yeah.
I think he is just an absolute lock for our teams.
Agree.
Yeah. It's just...
Would you like to hear them?
I'd love
Yeah,
at
go
least
for it.
one, please. Offer
one?
something today, please.
Oh, well, basically, I think that just because he's going to be better than that. No, he will be the number one defender.
What?
Oh, but that's taking it too far.
Oh, Aaron Hall says g'day.
Yeah, no, I think he might overtake him.
Aaron Hall? What? Did you own Aaron Hall last year?
Nah, hater.
Yes, I owned him.
Oh.
I
Did
owned
you?
him before you blokes did, actually.
Did you?
Yep.
Great pick.
Kept that one
Shall
quiet.
I?
Yeah, right.
No, but I like where you're going with that,
No,
dog.
he could be.
He's
I
going to
think
be
he's
elite.
very
And
safe.
I tell you what, do you know another funny little thing, and it might just be me, he's not someone you want to waste a trade on. getting him in because he's almost boring because he's just so good.
Yep.
He's just going to hit that 105 every week.
Yep.
You don't want to use a trade to get him in. Just start with him and then it's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
No Dawson, no Hewitt. You know.
Oh, there's plenty to go around back there.
Super Huey didn't steal any of his kicks. Let's face it. Okay, Luke Parker, he's just your safe dude. He's 29 now, slightly unders. You might get him as a decent one in draft because he averaged 99, 106 previous season. I think he's more of a 104 or 5 guy.
Okay.
So in draft, you might pick up a little bargain there. Now, Justin McInerney's one that I would be very interested in your thoughts on. I remember last year, as I worked towards my premiership winning year in draft, he was. I still don't stop looking at the scrap heap, and he was one that was there, and I put in a bid on him, Cal. But you're the one that got him.
I did.
So I was hoping, as you got eliminated from draft, you might have kept a close eye on how he was going. I think he moved to half back. And his ability to pick up a few uncontested marks skyrocketed. He hit double figures a couple of times, and his average increased significantly from earlier in the year.
He could be the next Dawson back there. So they're talking about him, and even Dylan Stevens taking that spot. But I think it's his. I think it's McInerney's.
Right, so from round 16, he averaged 80 points. I think he can average about 80.
Easy.
Maybe 80 plus.
He could be an 85.
10 plus there.
Yeah.
Upside.
And I think it will be more like 15 points.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Now, Peter Ladhams, this is another one that might be interesting in draft, especially just as you're a backup ruck, and you can throw him forward, if he becomes sole ruck, because he's shown that he can score. And we talked about it last year in Classic, actually, when he was going to get a little run at it as the number one ruck. And when he had the number one ruck duties, he did score well in that sort of 85 to 100 range. So I had a crunch of some numbers. When he was recording 20 hit-outs or more, he was averaging 85.
Right, okay.
So
when he's the number one ruck, he's a good...
Yeah. So you might want to handcuff him with Hickey in draft, and then you'd be safe. You'd have all bases covered. Now, Isaac Heeney, he's had another year where he's ended up cheap.
Now, Dog's a Heeney lover.
He is.
Every year.
$6.39. It's very cheap for a guy who's averaged over 93 times before.
I think you can do it this year.
4 scores under 50 he had.
That hurt. And it was around the time when people were jumping on board as well.
It was 88 in his last 5.
He's a roller coaster.
Isn't he ever? Because he's a forward. That's the problem. He needs goals.
They need him to play up forward. That's the thing.
He's a forward.
Again, we've got the pre-season talk from them that he will be a midfielder this year.
Have we had a photo of him yet come out?
Oh, no, that's what we need. I'm looking.
We usually get a photo of him with his shirt off.
Tricks me.
Done it ever.
Every year. So when does the term overrated actually start?
Oh, here we go. Yes. What? Yes,
I'm wondering.
I don't mind
because every year, the next year is going to be his year.
Yep.
4 scores under 50.
Well, Petrarca got it for years and years.
Footballer.
No, not in
you're just saying overrated fantasy player. You're saying overrated footballer.
I'm going all out.
Destroy.
Dog's going to get angry here.
What?
Have you seen him with his shirt off?
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubting that. That's elite. That is elite. But he's 4 scores under 50. Yeah, that's fantasy. But if you watch those games...
He's not touching it.
It wasn't touching the ball. Yes, his best is super elite.
Overrated.
I'm just trying to bring the best out.
Oh, yeah, no,
tough love. He's been a 90-plus guy.
3 times. He's played a lot of seasons now.
He tricks a lot of people to pick him every year.
He's not young anymore.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Nor's big buddy. What about him? He was good. He played 17 games last year, kicked a goal in all but 1.
He's good.
Give him an extension.
When's he going to kick his 1,000?
I don't know. That's exciting.
It is.
That is super exciting. Apart from that, there's not a whole heap going on. Now, I did look at the bargain basement.
It's all about Buddy, just wanted to say.
Matty Roberts.
Ah, yeah.
Midfielder.
Freako's a big
224,
fan.
is he? And I think he should be too. It's not a bad person to be getting around because he has shown an amazing ability to find the footy. So in his 3 sample under 18 games, I know that's against kids, but You can either find it or you can't find it. He averaged 32 touches, 8 tackles. You know how many points that converted to?
No.
149.
149
against kids.
Yeah, but that's not mucking around.
No.
Because one day those kids become adults and they're all still about that good.
Right.
And then he's like 149.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I mean?
Can collect the peel.
He certainly can. So what
He's a blood nut as well.
Yeah, and what the Swans recruiting
They do.
staff, they love guys that are happy to, get their hands dirty, get in and under, and get the footy.
Yep.
And Matty does that. So I tell you what, after last year, we saw people like Errol get a game, and if you get in there and you have a crack, you stay in that team now, and he could be next year's Errol.
I like it.
Who else was there? They had a few.
They did. Campbell got games.
Warner.
Oh, what's our mate called?
Will Gould.
Yeah.
Where's he? Will he get a game this year?
Yes.
Is he in?
Yes.
Is he on your bench at the moment?
Of course he sure is. I still didn't give him the emergency, but he's in there.
Yeah.
He plays this year.
He has to.
Has to be a chance.
Has to be a chance.
Has to be a chance. But unless there's anyone else you could think of, fellas, that's about all I had a real look at the Swannies.
Nice. So I'm just having a look at Will Gould to make sure he does exist. Yes, he played 9 games in the VFL last year at an average of 63.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that gets you games. Yep. That gets you games.
Well, so think about, there's been a bit of a shuffle. They've lost 2 players that played predominantly in defence for them.
Yep.
That opens up positions.
It does.
He should sneak in.
Sold.
They're the Swans. Go and pick those at fantasy.afl.com.au or download the app, and you can catch all our podcasts at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever.
Look,
you
I'm
listen
a
to
Heeney
podcasts.
fan. I'm a Heeney fan.
Yeah, you love him.
I do love him. I'm just giving him a bit of tough love.
Right. He better come out and dominate.
He will.